Namaskar and a very good morning. Welcome to the audio cast from Kotak Securities. I'm your host and guide Anindya Banerjee. आज अगर equity markets के ऊपर scan करें तो the trend is evident. It is a risk on trend across Asian markets. So which means that's going to be a positive factor for rupee, right? Hold on. Because US bond yields जैसे US 10-year has again begun to move higher. जो 4.5 के आसपास almost आ चुका था a couple of days back has now started to drift back towards 4.75. So higher bond yields matlab the dollar index is going to get a support, and that's exactly what is happening. Not just the US dollar index, but largely the dollar against major currencies, developed and emerging market both. ये situation में USDINR is definitely going to pay attention much more on the yields and the dollar trend globally than on the equity markets. इसके कारण ऑफशोर में इट्स ट्रेडिंग अराउंड 83, 23, 24 levels on the spot. So a flat opening is expected. And there is another development which we have to focus, जिसके बारे में an article which we shared in the morning in the group, that the central bank का जो एक swap trade था last year, that is going to expire this time. So they basically had done a sell-buy swap. So they sold dollars in the spot. They promised to buy it back when it expires. So that's going to expire now. So as a result of which, RBI has to buy the dollars in spot and reverse the transaction. Now, इसके कारण there is a jitter in the market that ये $5 billion का जो swap है is going to create a lot of demand in the spot, and that's the reason why there has been a sporadic buying in the interbank market. Now RBI can always come and extend the maturity by again doing another swap, but at the end of the day, this is something which the market will focus on as a short-term factor. But the larger factor going to be the global situation, yields, dollar index, as well as geopolitics. अभी अगर USDINR का trading conditions का बात करें तो it is pretty clear. It's a very challenging trading conditions because 83.10 के नीचे it is not allowed to drift due to market conditions, and 83.30 के आसपास और ऊपर इसको जाने नहीं दिया जा रहा है, possibly by the heavy selling of dollars by the RBI. So एक तरफ RBI is selling, दूसरी तरफ the market is buying. The end result is a very narrow range, almost to the point जहाँ पे range है ही नहीं. Almost it's like just one price, as if the USDINR has become pegged currency, which it is not. So this range will finally break. Volatility will increase because as long as the currency is market driven, you can suppress volatility for some time, but volatility comes back, and jitna suppression hota hai utna hi violently volatility comes back. That has been the trend, because for the simple reason it happens because kyunki lot of the hedgers, speculators, especially speculators, they remain on the sidelines and they wait for this range to break. The moment this range breaks, let's say if it breaks on the upside 83.32 ke upar on the spot, then they can jump into the market all of a sudden. So suddenly you might see a lot of demand come into the market which was not existing. Then you can have hedgers like importers who can jump into hedge. So that creates a wall of supply for the Indian rupee, or another way of looking at it is a huge wave of demand for the dollars in the system if it breaks out on the upside. अगर ये breakdown होता है 83 के नीचे and the global conditions are conducive for a weaker dollar, then you see just the opposite. The speculators jump in to sell, exporters come in and hedge. That's how it happens. So the conclusion is that longer you keep volatility this artificially capped, it's going to increase violently in the coming days or weeks. The longer it is artificially capped, the more violent is the expression later on. So that is we have to keep in mind. ये important है specifically for traders who are taking a lot of unlimited risk, like shorting straddles, triangles, or doing some kind of a ratio trade, that you need to be aware You cannot be complacent with your positions, क्योंकि ऐसे भी implied volatility तो है नहीं ज़्यादा. So if you are doing a shorting intraday for a straddle or a strangle, it's not going to make you much money. Because जब implied volatility high रहता है तो weekly option में भी intraday में you can make a decent amount of money. But when the intraday volatility, the implied vols are exceptionally low, like 2.5% or 2.3%, you have to hold on to the position close to the expiry to make any money, and that increases your overnight risk because of the global situation. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Don't overexpose yourself now. This is the time when you should be preserving your capital and not taking too much of adventure. अगर breakdown को anticipate करके trade करना है, then the ideal thing will be to buy out of money options. Like if you are expecting a breakout to happen eventually, then buy a out of money call. Let's say October end expiry, or even you can do a November end expiry as well. Similarly for put, if you think it's going to break down. But don't try to trade unnecessarily now, and don't try to take unnecessary risk now. Patience is the key here. The patient you are, the more prepared you will be जब ये trend emerge होगा. Please keep this thing in mind. Cross currencies में volatility है. USDINR, GBPINR आज हो सकता है एक डाउनवर्ड ड्रिफ्ट दिखाए बिकॉज द यूएस यील्ड्स हैव टिक्ड हायर. और आज स्पेसिफिकली यूके का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डे है बिकॉज वी हैव द यूके जॉब्स रिपोर्ट, द वेज नंबर्स, the job additions, etc., unemployment rate will be all coming out. So that will have a significant impact on the GBPINR, and we'll be updating you accordingly. EUR-INR में भी आज German और Eurozone ZEW, जो basically is a investor sentiment, so investor sentiment is going to come out. That is also going to have some impact on the EUR-INR. Yen-INR can continue to be under pressure because of the rise in the US bond yields. So that's it, folks. This is Anindya Banerjee signing off. A fantastic day ahead.